Hi everyone, this is Ruth and welcome back to my channel. This channel is mainly about my home lab where I build different setups, test networking tools, and experiment with infrastructure projects. My main goal with this lab is to practice cybersecurity skills in a real environment. So over time, I'll be building out different systems, security tools, and monitoring platforms. In this video, we're going to configure a VLAN in pfSense and connect a virtual machine to it, making sure it receives an IP address and has full internet access. If you haven't set up pfSense and Proxmox yet, you can find the full installation guide in parts 1 to 3 linked in the description below. And now, let's get started. First, let's create the VLAN. Navigate to Interfaces, then Assignments, then go to VLANs and click Add. Set the parent interface to LAN and assign a VLAN tag. For this setup, we'll use 10. For the description, enter like VLAN 10-cells and then click Save. Using clear naming like this is a best practice, especially in a real environments where multiple VLANs exist. Now that the VLAN is created, the next step is to assign it as an interface. Go to Interfaces Assignments, click Add, then Save, and a new interface will appear, usually named Opt1. Click on it to begin configuration. Enable the interface, then set the IPv4 configuration type to static IPv4. Assign the IP address like 10.0.10.1/24. This IP will act as the default gateway for the devices in this VLAN. Click Save and then apply changes. Next, let's allow devices to automatically receive IP addresses. Go to Services, then DHCP server and select the VLAN interface. Enable DHCP, then set the range like 10.0.10.100 to 10.0.10.200. Make sure the gateway 10.0.10.1 is outside this range to avoid conflicts. Optionally, you can add DNS servers like 8.8.8.8 and 8.8.4.4. Then click Save. At this point, we've created a separate network. The subnet is 10.0.10.0/24 and pfSense uses 10.0.10.1 as the gateway. Any device in this VLAN will use the gateway to communicate with other networks or access the internet. Now let's move on to one of the most important parts, the firewall rules. By default, pfSense blocks all traffic on new interfaces, so without a rule, devices in this VLAN won't have internet access. So this time, let's navigate to Firewall and then click Rules, then Opt1 and click Add. Set the following. For action, let's set to Pass. For protocol, any. For source, let's choose VLAN 10 subnet. For the destination, we'll set it to any to allow internet access. However, it's important to understand that this also allows access to other internal networks if they exist. In a basic lab setup, this is acceptable, but in a real environment, you would restrict this further to allow only internet access and block access to other VLANs. And now let's add a description like allow internet access and then click Save and apply changes. Now that the network is ready, let's connect the virtual machine. Go to your VM, then go to Options and rename it something like VLAN 10-cells. This helps keep your lab organized. Then go to Hardware, set the VLAN tag to 10 and start the VM. Inside the VM, open the PowerShell and run ipconfig. You should see an IP address like 10.0.10.100 and the default gateway is like 10.0.10.1. This confirms the DHCP is working correctly. Next, let's verify connectivity step by step. First, ping the gateway. Run ping 10.0.10.1. This confirms local network communication. Then ping an external IP. Run ping 8.8.8.8. This confirms internet access is working. Finally, open a web browser and visit a website like YouTube. If the page loads successfully, your VLAN is fully configured and has an internet access. One important thing to note before we finish, in my previous video, you might see the operating system firewall disabled for simplicity and easier troubleshooting. However, in a real-world environment, you should always keep the operating system firewall enabled. This adds an extra layer of protection on top of pfSense, helping secure the system even if a network rule is misconfigured. And that's it. We've successfully created a VLAN, configured DHCP, added a firewall rule, and connected a virtual machine with full internet access. This setup is a solid foundation for building more advanced and secure network environments. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.